did something really big that's gonna be dramatically improving the lives of the generation that follows mine. Here's what we did. Been working on creating our own bank, our own family bank. Got my wife involved, got my kids involved, and now we have created our own little bank. Why would we do that? We got 2 kids who are almost 14 and almost 11, and they are not getting the tools they need to understand how money works, to understand financing, to understand how to pay for life. They're just not getting these education in any format across any school or beyond school institution. Nobody really cares. And YouTube and TikTok, you're seeing all kinds of stuff that have to do with just fashion and exciting and flashy object. None of this stuff has to do with sitting down and understanding how you're going to pay for the rest of your life. So our family bank is going to change that and start introducing concepts about money to our kids. Started with a discussion about what is a bank? Why do we have a bank? And here's what I asked my kids and my wife. Why do banks exist? Fundamentally, we think of it now as just a place that is safe where we can put our money. So if when we're ready to use it, we can, and it'll be there. So if there's a fire or someone steals it from home, that's not gonna be an issue because it's in the bank. We've been groomed to thinking that there's value in doing that. And it's crazy that the bank's doing a service for us like that by creating safety, and they're paying us money to hang on to our money. They're like, yeah, this is a pretty good deal for us. But is it? What do banks do with the money that you put on deposit? If I had $1,000 and I put that money in a bank, the bank's gonna pay me negligible interest, but they'll pay me something. I think my TD account was 0.01% last time I checked. But they'll pay you something, and they're hanging on to your money. Here's what they do with the money. They'll take $1,000 from me. We call it a deposit, but essentially it's a loan that we're making to the bank. And they're paying us really low interest for that loan. And they're using my $1,000, splitting it into 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. There actually are no limits in Canada, which is crazy. They can take a deposit, split it as many times as they want, and then lend out, create loans for those to other people. They're not even lending their own money. They're lending my money to somebody else. And offshoots of my money, which don't even exist. And when they're doing that, they're lending it out for a lot more money than they're paying me. Let's just call that 10%. The prime rate is in around 7. If somebody asks for a loan to buy like a sofa or a phone or something, the bank will probably charge them 10% if they even give them access to money. Let's say that. So in a year, if I have my money sitting with the bank, they'll pay me 0.1%. Let's just call it $1. I'll even be generous and say it's going to be $5. The bank's going to take my $1,000, lend it out, and make 10%. They're going to make $100 that year, and they're going to do that with 9 other loans. Let's say there's 10 in total, which is again conservative. There's more than that. They're going to take my $1,000, lend out $10,000, and make $100 per loan for each of those loans. They're going to make $1,000 interest off of paying me $5. So I talked to my kids about this and said, I want to wean them off of the banking system. I don't want them to look at banks the way that I grew up looking at banks, the way that my parents taught me about banks. So I said, we're going to start our own bank. We have to fund it. So I'll take on the responsibility of trying to fund that bank. But when we do things that involve borrowing and spending and all that kind of stuff, we're going to table this as a family. We're going to address what we need money for, who needs money, what are payment terms. We are going to be the depositor and the borrower of our own bank so that we can avoid having to give our money to the profits of a major bank. On top of that, we will help ourselves. We will help each other when we need money the most. Have you ever tried going to a bank when you need a loan? Because let's be honest, you're not going to a bank for a loan if you don't need to go for a loan. Of course they're going to give you a hard time. They are very critical. When you need money the most is when they want to give it to you the least, because you're needy. You're not a good candidate for my money. Who goes for a loan when they don't need money? Nobody. So we are not going to be that. We're going to have hearts, and we're going to help each other out using our family bank. So I'll post about this so you can see what progress we're making. We've already executed our first loan. We bought some rims for the car for the summers so we can have accessibility to lower the cost of changing summers and winters. Good now. Now we're going to pay that back, and we're going to monitor all that. My kids are going to get lessons in amortized versus interest-only loans. They're going to understand inflation. They're going to understand payments. They're going to understand why banks profit the way they do because they're going to see it in the monthly reports. So excited to see how this goes. 2024, this is the first year of operation of our bank, and we're going to go for the next 100 years and build this bad boy up for eternity. We are going to get wealthed up.